Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel IIBS IAS Academy. This is Rakesh Singh, Assistant Professor at IIBS IAS Academy. I have done my PGDBRM from Manipal University. Since last 6 years, I have been teaching to the UPSC aspirant. In this YouTube channel, we will be discussing about the daily current affairs and the topics which are related to UPSC as well as the other competitive exams. Please do subscribe, like and comment on the below section. Good morning friends, welcome to IIBS IAS Academy. Today we will be discussing about one of the topic which are in current affairs, that is Lokpal as well as Lokayukta. So the concept of Lokpal and Lokayukta, it is not new in India. It has its long back history from 1960 onwards. So the term Lokpal as well as the Lokayukta, first time it was used by the L.M. Singhvi. Okay. So the term Lokpal and Lokayukta, first time it was used by L.M. Singhvi. Then again in the year 1966, the first administrative reform commission was constituted. So that commission has given a recommendation for the setting up of or the formation of two anti-corruption body, one at central level and one at state level. So for that purpose, for the implementation of the recommendation which were given by this first administrative reforms commission, then again in the year 1968, the Lokpal bill was introduced and passed in Lok Sabha, but that bill was lapsed due to the dissolution of Lok Sabha. So from 1960 till 2011, there were many instances or many times when Lokpal bill was introduced in Lok Sabha. Sometime it is passed in Lok Sabha, but it was lapsed due to the dissolution of Lok Sabha, or sometime it was introduced in Lok Sabha and it was lapsed without passing due to the dissolution of Lok Sabha till 2011. So from 1968 till 2011, there were nearly 8 times when Lokpal bill was introduced, but that bill was lapsed. Then in the year 2011, UPA government led by the Indian National Congress. So in the year 2011, UPA government has formed one group, that group of minister. So that group of minister was chaired by the Pranav Mukherjee, our ex-prime minister, president of India. So that group of minister was created by the government to suggest some measures, to tackle the corruption as well as examine the proposal of Lok Sabha bill. Then in the year 2010, there was one famous social reformer whose name was Anna Hazare. Then Anna Hazare has started one movement that was called India Against Corruption movement. So under that movement, the demand of the Anna Hazare was the introduction plus passing of the Lokpal bill, and apart from that, Prime Minister also should be comes under the ambit of Lokpal bill. So in the year 2013, UPA government has introduced the Lokpal bill and passed the bill in both the houses of the parliament. Then that bill got assent of the president on 1st January 2014. Then that bill become act and it is known as Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013. So that is about the history of Lokpal and Lokayukta Act. So according to Lokpal and Lokayukta Act, there shall be a anti-corruption body at central level, that is called Lokpal, and there shall be an anti-corruption body at state level, that is called Lokayukta. So we are going to study about Lokpal. So what is Lokpal? Lokpal is nothing but it is an anti-corruption body at central level. So what is the composition or structure of Lokpal? So Lokpal, it is a multi-member body. It consists one chairman and 8 members. Out of these 8 members, half members, that is 50 member must be a judicial members, 50 member must be judicial members, and 50% half member must be non-judicial members. So out of these 8 members, 4 members must be judicial members and 4 member must be from non-judicial members. Then apart from that, out of this total 8 members, 50 members, 50% members, that is 4 members either from judicial member or non-judicial member. This 4 member must be from either SC, either ST, either OBC, either minority or women. So generally Lokpal has 1 chairman and 8 members. Out of those 8 members, 4 member must be judicial member and 4 member must be non-judicial members. And overall out of 8 members, 50% or half of the member must be either from SC, ST, OBC, women or minorities. Then what are the qualifications for a person to become a chairman of Lok Sabha? So the qualification of chairman of Lokpal, qualification to become a chairman of Lokpal is that a person must be a retired CJI, Chief Justice of India, or retired Judge of Supreme Court. Who can become the chairman? What is the eligibility? What are the qualification for a person to become a chairman of Lokpal? So a person who is a retired CJI, Chief Justice of India, or a retired Judge of Supreme Court, or a person who is having minimum 25 years of experience in anti-corruptions, or a person who is having a minimum of 25 years of experience in anti-corruption, that person eligible to become the member of eligible to become the chairman of Lokpal. Then what are the qualification to become a member of Lokpal? So who can become the member of Lokpal? Either the retired Judge of Supreme Court, either the retired Judge of Supreme Court, or the retired Chief Justice of any High Court. Either the retired Judge of Supreme Court or the retired Chief Justice of any High Court can become a member of Lokpal. Then apart from that, any person who is having an experience of minimum 25 years in anti-corruption or corruption related matter, then that person is also eligible to become the member of Lokpal. And generally the term of the chairman as well as the member of the Lokpal shall be 5 years. Shall be 5 years, or they can hold their office till they attain the age of 70 years. Both are applicable. So take an example, if a person become a member of Lokpal at the age of 67 years, then the person can become a member of Lok Sabha till he attain the age of 70 years. Once he attains the age of 70 years, then he will be removed from the member of Lokpal, though his tenure is not completed, but that person will cease to be a member of Lokpal. So that is about the composition of Lokpal. So what is that? Generally Lokpal consists 1 chairman and 8 members. 8 members, half member judicial members and half member non-judicial members. Overall from 8 members, half member must be from SC, ST, OBC or women and minorities. And who can become a chairman? Retired CJI, retired Judge of Supreme Court, or a person who is having a minimum of 25 years of experience in anti-corruption or corruption related matters. So this person can eligible to become the chairman. And who can become the member of this Lokpal? Either the retired Judge of Supreme Court, or the retired Chief Justice of any High Court, or a person who is having a minimum 25 years of experience in corruption related matters, and their tenure is 5 years, or they can hold their office till they attain the age of 70 years. So, this is about composition of Lokpal. And who will appoint the members and chairman of Lokpal? The members and chairman of Lokpal will be appointed by the president on the recommendation of one committee, that is called selection committee. This is very important for the exam point of view. It is the president who will appoint the chairman as well as member of Lokpal based upon the recommendation of one committee, that is called selection committee. Then what are the composition of selection committee? Who are the member and chairman of this selection committee? The Prime Minister of India. The Prime Minister of India is the chairman of that selection committee, which give recommendation to the president for the appointment of chairman and member of Lokpal. So, the selection committee chairman will be the Prime Minister, and other members are Speaker of Lok Sabha, then Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha. Speaker of Lok Sabha, then Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha. What happen if no official leader of opposition in Lok Sabha? Then at that time, the leader of the single largest opposition party will be considered as the official leader of opposition in Lok Sabha. Then apart from that, either the Chief Justice of India or any judge, either the Chief Justice of India or the any judge that will be nominated by the Chief Justice of India and one eminent jurist. One eminent jurist. So, this selection committee consists one chairman and 5 members. Chairman, Prime Minister of India, then members are Speaker of Lok Sabha, Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, then Chief Justice of India or any member nominated by the Chief Justice of India and one eminent jurist. So, this is the composition of a selection committee. Okay. Then again, for selecting the chairperson and member, again the selection committee will establish search panel. Okay. Generally, it is the president who appoint the chairman as well as the member of Lokpal based upon the recommendation of one selection committee, and these are the composition of selection committee. This selection committee will appoint one more panel, search panel. So, that panel consists minimum 8 members. So, this panel will search the candidate for appointment as the chairman as well as the member of Lokpal. So, what is that? Lokpal Search Committee, okay, which consists 8 panel member, and that 8 panel member will be constituted by the selection committee of Lokpal. So, generally according to the Lokpal Act 2013, it is Department of Personnel and Training. Department of Personnel and Training. This department will make a list of candidate, who are interested to become a member of Lokpal. So, DOPT will first make a list of candidate who are interested to become a member of Lokpal and the chairman of Lokpal. Then this list will go to that 8-member search panel committee. So, that this will go to the 8-member search panel committee. Then this committee will shortlist the name, and that list will be forwarded to the selection committee. The selection committee which will be chaired by the Prime Minister. Then the name which selection committee received, candidate names, that selection committee may accept, may not accept. So, this is a process for selecting the candidate for appointment as a chairman and member of Lokpal. First, DOPT will prepare a list, then DOPT will send that list to search panel. Then search panel will shortlist the candidate, then search panel will forward that list to search committee. Search committee may or may not accept, then the search committee will give recommendation to the president. Then president will appoint the member as well as the chairman of Lokpal. And what are the powers and jurisdiction of Lokpal? What Lokpal can do? What are the powers of Lokpal? Okay, generally the Lokpal deals with the corruption related matter at central level or central government level. Okay, so what are the jurisdiction of Lokpal? So the jurisdiction of Lokpal include Prime Minister. That was the main demand of Anna Hazare, that Prime Minister also should include in the jurisdiction of Lokpal. So according to Lokpal and Lokayukta Act, the jurisdiction of Lokpal, it is Prime Minister, then Ministers, Council of Ministers, then Member of Parliament, then Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D officers from central government as well as the officials of central government, like central public sector undertaking. So these are the jurisdiction of Lok Sabha. In short, Lok Sabha deals with the corruption cases which are related to Prime Minister, Council of Minister, Member of Parliament, Group A, B, C, D or any central government officer. Then the jurisdiction of Lok Sabha include the Prime Minister. The jurisdiction of Lok Sabha include the Prime Minister, but the Lokpal cannot investigation the corruption cases which are related to Prime Minister in the matter of international relation, security, public order, atomic energy and space. So apart from this matter, rest all the matters which are related to the Prime Minister under corruption cases can be dealt by the Lokpal. Now, apart from that, even the Lokpal does not have jurisdiction over the ministers and member of parliament, okay, regarding any matter which are related to their particular house, or any MP or minister, whether they made any statement or whether they have given any vote to their respective house on that matter, Lokpal does not have jurisdiction. Then according to Lokpal and Lokayukta Act, it is mandatory that all the public officials, in short, it is mandatory for all the central government public employee, or it is mandatory for the central government public employee to disclose their asset and liability within the specified time. The time will be determined by the government of India. So in short, under this Lokpal and Lokayukta Act, it is mandatory for each and every central government employee or government officials or government authorities to disclose their assets and liability within the given time. The time will be prescribed by the central government. Now, apart from that, Lokpal is also having a power to superintendence and direction to the CBI. Lokpal has a direction power over the CBI. What is that? If any cases, okay, the case which is Lokpal referred to the CBI, then the investigation officer in CBI should not be transferred until unless it receive an approval from the Lokpal. That means a Lokpal can give a case to the CBI, and CBI investigation officer cannot be transferred until unless it is approved by the Lokpal. Then apart from that, Lokpal has a power to recommend the transfer or suspension of any public servant which are connected to the corruption cases. So this is about the composition of Lokpal, how the chairman and how the members of Lokpal can be appointed, their tenure, then what are the jurisdiction and power of Lokpal. So that is all for the day. Thank you. So please do like and share our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press bell icon for more updates. Thank you.